Edge technology screen. Before you punched this in already. Let me turn this to the side just in case if we have any information to do today. Let's see. Alright, well that's loading up. I gotta update some stuff on the website. And we gotta cut some of these labels out. We got 2 sets of orders that are going out today. We gotta paint the upstairs room. The black cloth surfaces have to be done today too. A few of them have to be done. So let's get back on my site because I gotta edit today on my site and update the Colossus. Since we found out the Colossus lay perfectly flat, which like I said, they must have changed the material out because usually when we had those screens in here, and we've been buying them for quite some time, they don't lay flat like that inside. They have to be taken outside, and you do have little wrinkles here and there. But something, most people when they get them, they either iron them out or steam them out. I've never seen the screen actually lay that flat. I'm looking at that one, and I'm looking at the 129-inch that was actually designed and prepped to be flat. And I'm like, shoot, they look exactly the same. So now we can market that screen as an inside screen because it lays perfectly flat. As a matter of fact, I'm getting one for myself. My downstairs area will hold about 180 inches, so that's what I'm putting downstairs in the basement area. I mean, we have a kind of a light stucco wall back there, but still, when it comes to the white levels, you can still see the grittiness, and I don't like that. That's why I don't never use it. But to have that screen that flat back there, oh heck yeah. Definitely give myself one. That would be, no, that ain't the biggest screen in the house. 250 would be the biggest. Alright, so I got to go downstairs and open up the basement, allow air to flow through the basement, and let's see what else we need today. Got cut out labels today. Ooh, yeah, we're definitely cutting labels up today. Got a lot of labels to cut out. And what else? We got plenty of paint for the 2.0. We just had to get more containers because we definitely ran out of containers. All right, let's get this day started. Of course, we thank our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for blessing us with another beautiful day. Found my scissors. I'm always looking for scissors. Can never find them. Found them right over there. All right, everything we need. All right, and I got painting to do. I want to finish painting that room upstairs. Taking that. I forgot to take out trash. All right, next week. Hey, people at the table, the executives and all you good guys over here. Chilling out on this wonderful day. Man, I tell you, yesterday, freaking went through a freaking fiasco yesterday. Crazy fiasco yesterday. I'm not even going to explain it all. It just takes too long to explain. But yeah, I went through a crazy fiasco yesterday, but the Lord worked everything out, and we're still conducting business. But man, sometimes you got to go through those hiccups in life. I got people that are starting businesses for the first time, and they're nervous and anxious and anxieties and all that stuff are popping up, and they don't know how things are going to work out and this, that, and the other. And you got to be prepared that businesses are going to have slow days, you're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days. It's going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. Not every day It's going to be a perfect sale day. You're going to have days that are going to be sales all day, and you have one day you're not have sales at all. Everybody has to go through it. But instead of going crazy and losing your mind and thinking that you made a bad investment, you put your trust in God. You put your trust in God. You don't have to worry about all that craziness because I have it for you. That's why you don't have to worry about it. That's why you put your trust in God. All right, so this is already launched already, so we can take this off. It's already launched. We don't need this here anymore. No, we need the power got out of it. We don't need that in there anymore because it already launched already. That's not needed. And I got a couple of videos I need to put in there. The beta tester has his, soon should be there, he'll have the 2.0. And regardless, if the other one, we're not going to mention our videos, we're done with that. Complete headache, we don't want them in the videos. Anyway, the other one, we call him the other one. The other one, if he denies it, it really doesn't make a difference, we don't care. Judging by the craziness that went on trying to get the order over to the fellow on the multiple false complaints he was filing and all the other stuff he was doing, trying to keep from doing the review altogether. He has the option to send it back. And if he does the review, does it hurt our sales? Absolutely not. I mean, he sat there and did a fake demonstration on the 39s. We got over 200 ounces sitting there on the table. Got another one downstairs we're doing right now of the 39. What do you think is on the Colossals? Somebody just ordered a 200-inch Colossal screen. We already shipped that off, by the way. It's out of here. It's on its way. So no, it doesn't hurt our sales at all, period. Because people, recognize what is in the visual, what is in the day, and all he does is just, the only people he entertains is people who don't buy our products. That's it. So we don't care about them at the end of the day because they don't buy our products. But as for everybody else, nah, they're not. They still buy from us. If I didn't, I wouldn't have all this stuff every single day. We put orders out. We would be going through orders if that was the issue. So his reviews and all that stuff mean nothing. The only people he entertains is people who don't support us and don't buy from us. That's it. So it doesn't affect us at all. But again, he clearly wouldn't have went through all of that for a item that I told you they were going to ship out. Where are they at? They're gone, right? Yeah. There you go. Always keep my word. And he had to learn how we process things over here. This is how we do things. This is why on our website we have all this information on there and shipping, because you can have delays that pop up in COVID. Every time a new variant pops up, and I constantly check the news for new variants, because new variants cause fluctuation in business so fast it's not even funny. So something that may happen somewhere in a country where we're getting supplies from, and they could have a potential lockdown will affect us. So we have to make sure that the products that we're making, we can actually go to different areas and get that different products, but we'll still have the same reaction from that product. We learned that from the 8. Unfortunately, the 8s will never be made again due to the fact that we just couldn't get the products to make them. So you learn from your mistakes. But as for this individual, like I said, he didn't want to do. Usually, most of the time, when we run into people, or when we ran into one person like this, they'll talk the talk, but they don't want to walk the walk. That's what it comes down to. They'll show off in front of it's just a game for them. It's just a stage and a game for them. They just want to show off in front of their followers. They never follow through on anything, and they just talk a lot of trash. That's it. That's what it comes down to. If some company gave me a challenge, oh heck yeah, I'm going to take it on, because I'm curious myself if my screen can take the screen. It's out of curiosity, most of it all. Couldn't care less about the challenge, just to see if my screen can take it. That's why we go pay near certifies. Certified screens, we don't do certified screens for the sake of just having the rights of saying we can overpower a certified. It's the curiosity to see if we can do it. That's what it comes down to. Like, that's a pretty good screen right there. I wonder if we could take the screen. But judging by the black screens, because they can overpower gunmetals easy, because again, it's a black screen. There is no gunmetal screen on this planet that can touch that screen, because again, gunmetals do not produce 100% black, and that screen does produce it. So, right there. And if they come up with a black screen, oh, that'd be the best day ever for Mr. Bird. And for somebody's like, oh, it'd still beat their screen either way because I beat them in price. And there's no way in the world they're going to charge what we charge for a black screen. No way in the world. They're already charging. That wouldn't even make any sense that they would have a gunmetal screen that costs $3,000 to $5,000, and they would come up with a black screen for under $1,000. That's better than the gunmetal screen. They can't do it. It'll basically destroy their capital. So that can't be done. Unless they're willing to reduce the prices on the gunmetal and make them lower. No, they're not going to do that. They got too many investors, board of directors, and all that stuff. Stop. They're not doing that. Nope. And at the end of the day, truthfully, do they care? No, because again, they're making their money. They're happy. They're good to go. They're making millions of dollars. They're happy with it. But you got, like I said, the everyday Joe can't afford a $3,000, $5,000, 100-inch screen on his wall. With our technology, you get better and for less, and we can prove it. Okie dokie. Glad we had the old Squirrel Boys up there. I want to order Squirrel Boy some food, but we got to take her to do incident. Squirrel Boy. Squirrel Boy. Squirrel Boy. Oh, Squirrel Boy. Squirrel Boy. I have another one downstairs. I forgot we had to get that one done too. Where is my rope downstairs? I had it up here. Let me see. Okay, I see how it looks. I understand the works. Alright. Let's see. Yes. Let me see. Where's that for that? So here? Okay. That is for the other one. What it was. Do you have anyone for me? Not one, do we? 6. Something weird. I can't remember it off that what it was. I don't remember it. Shoot. We should go with numbers. We don't remember which one it was. Alright, I have to dig it up. Okay, I'm spreading myself thin. I'm doing two things at the same time. We gotta get the door downstairs set, the airflow coming into the basement, get this process, take it one at a time, keep running all over the place. Like a chicken with a J-curl. Where is the here it is. Nope, that's not even there. Man, damn it. I'll lose that thing. I find it, I lose it. I find it, lose it. Find it, I lose it. Every single time. You know, I can keep track of that thing. Alright, we'll use this for the time being. Alright, so I talked about having a formula for the inflatable screens, because I told you before the inflatable screens are very temperamental. The PVCs, we can't do anything with those things. The PVC screens, inflatable screens are headaches. So on so many levels it's not even funny. I would advise you stay away from them. I mean, if you want a white screen, knock yourself out. If you're expecting us to help you with it, we can't do it. PVC is a nightmare to work with because number one, we've had problems with them before. We can spray them, coat them, whatever. They have issues where these things will actually, well, if we do the opposite side, we do have a coating for the opposite side, but you would have to reverse it and you would have to use that coating for the opposite side. That's the only way, but you're definitely not painting the PVC surface. No. Well, no, wait a minute. Let me have to run those tests first to find out. I'm not really sure on that 100% because I really can't say how that one's going to react to that surface. So we'd have to run tests for it to see if it would work first. Okay, and that's what we'll do. We'll buy soft PVC, about 100 inches, coat the back of it, stick it outside, have it sit out there for about a couple of weeks and see exactly what the reaction is going to be. Because I don't know how it's going to react. I do know how the reaction is going to be on the opposite side, on the white side. That side's going to stick. I know it. It always happens with PVC. It always sticks. But the other side, we spray that with a certain formula. We shouldn't have that issue at all, period. But mostly what we run into is not so much PVC. We run into a lot of the front and rear. We see a lot of front and rears on there. Front, rear, front, rear, front, rear. And the front rears are white. And the problem with the white front rears, they don't pick up a jack. So if we got a formula that can convert that into black and still maintain the mesh material, that would be fantastic. That will allow a customer to convert their screen into our black technology. The problem is every time we run into inflatable screens, we advise people to call us on that because you can't use that paint on it. You will mess the screen up completely, and they're expensive screens. So we're going to have to make, that's what we're doing right now. We're making a version spray-on application. It has to be spray on. You don't want to roll this on, trust me, not on mesh. A spray-on application, very easy to do. Just turn the screen black. That's all you have to do. Very easy. Pretty much like the 44s. So it'll allow you to turn that white faded mesh into a high performance black OLED. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're working on right now. Unfortunately, I have to go to PayPal and I have to have money transferred from my card, my backup card, so I can use that to make my purchases because yesterday I lost my card in the house somehow. Searched through the entire house. We all been through that. Searched through the entire house. And freaking nightmare of it all, freaking Comcast is supposed to be billing my account automatically. They do it every a couple months they get missed. But yeah, they're supposed to bill my account. I got automatic bill payment. So sitting there working on the computer, freaking internet shuts off. I'm like, what the freak? So then I turn around and find out, oh, jerks didn't freaking take it out of my account. So then I go in, hate to call them jerks, but sometimes we know they are. So anyway, I go over to get my card out of my wallet. It's not there. I'm like, what the freak is my card? Because I always put it in my wallet. But apparently this time I didn't remember I didn't do it. Searched through the entire house. Couldn't find it. Dug through everything. Trash. Everything. Look at a tornado just went through my house. Still couldn't find it. Then after that, I try to call Comcast to see if I can get extension on my internet until I can track down the card or basically get another one shipped in. They're freaking, they used to have fantastic customer service. Now their customer service is absolute trash because no one was picking up at all, period. Kept getting the random message over and over with music in the background. Like I needed that nightmare to add to it. So we have to have the service on. So now it's getting to the point where, okay, I'll contact family because family always hooks me up. If I need it, which I never ask them because, you know, like I said, we was raised, we don't ask from each other, we do it ourselves. So I was asking my sister, like, hey, look, I got this bill. Can you knock it out for me? I got the money in my account. I've transferred directly to your PayPal account, which I can still do. She says, no problem. I'll take care of it. But I said, before you do it, let me first see if we can get around it because I don't like to ask people for money. So then, after going through all that, I contact PayPal. Ask them, can they give you my numbers off my card? Can they give me my numbers off my card? I can write it down. I can go to Comcast and call them up, get the automated machine. Had to be done. It had update videos and stuff. So they said they can't do it. They can't give me the numbers because even though I am who I am, they still can't do it because of security protocol. All right, that shit went down the drain right there. All right, so then I remember I got a backup card on my account for emergencies. Needed them to, wanted to transfer funds off my account into the backup card that I have here that I can get access to, whatever I, and for some reason I'm getting these protocol errors that are popping up on the account. Contact them again. This is the nonsense you go doing business. Contact them at PayPal again. Explain to them what's going on. They got to do a manual override because I put the card in too many times and it failed, and they put in a lock safe system and they had to override that and money to the account. Now the money's on my card. Go call Comcast, get the service back on, and then resume business as usual like nothing ever happened. That's what went on yesterday. And in the process of me cleaning the house, guess where I found the card after I canceled it? I found it under Taco's Toys. That's where it was at. Apparently, I think I know what happened. I was sitting in the chair, my main chair right there, watching TV, probably ordering something, had the card on my lap, as I usually do, because there's no cup holders on there, and I wanted to get up, and it fell near Taco's area. Me shifting Taco's boxes around, I covered up my card. So now I had to wait for the new card to get to him, which is 10 to 14 days, but until then, I have money transferred over to the backup card. Ta-da! And this is what I was trying to explain to my friend when all this stuff is going on. It's crazy that she's setting up right now. This is the person who's going to be showing off her screens and her, matter of fact, I can get ready to send screens over to her. They're going to show off screens and their parlor, their ice cream parlor, and advertise their company for us. So that's one of the person I was setting up. And she's going through all this nervousness. I'm like, relax, you gotta relax because in business, man, some of the most craziest stuff you can ever think of is going to pop up. Stuff that's 1 out of 1 million will pop up on you. And you'll be sitting like, what the freak just happened? Like, this really all just happened in just today? Like, yep. All that happened today. All that craziness happened today. You gotta learn to relax, calm down, because I could have went through a whole freaking panic and stressed out, blah, blah, blah. No, I didn't. Put it in God's hands. Let him handle it. Can't find the card? Okay, let's find a solution. And until then, I had family in the back saying, hey, if you need it, we got it. And I'm like, no, I'm good. We got around it. Thank you so much. Appreciate the support. I love the way my mother and father raised me. I do. I told you, when I was coming up, you had to have a job by 16 and you was out by 18. You wasn't in the house at 18 years old. Not going to stand now today because, you got inflation and with the way things are going, yeah. But at least if you're going to be home, don't be sitting up there eating food and whatever and, get a job or something. You know what I mean? Do something, put something back into the household. But when we was coming up, it didn't make a difference if you was going to college. You was out of the house by 18. That was the rules. Job by 16, out by 18. Those were the rules. And you don't come back. That's how it works. You don't ask your family for 1 year. I don't know who said that, but my family members don't bother with you at all, period. You will learn to survive on your own. You better figure out a way. Your phone bill needs to be paid off, figure out a way. Bills are being shut off, figure out a way. Need food in your stomach, you figure out a way. That's it. And some people thought, oh, that's a cruel way to grow up. No, it isn't. Because you learn how to survive. The way the people are today, well, it ain't there. First thing they do is come home to mama and daddy, have washed their clothes, and sit down and eat food and all that other nonsense. Man, that was unheard of, man. I never even heard of that. I remember when my ex was talking about, I'm going to my mother's house to get something to eat. I was like, really? No, we were raised to survive. That's it. And I'm glad they raised me that way. I hated them for when they did that to me. I couldn't stand it. When they got older, I was like, all right, you can drop me anywhere. You can drop me anywhere. And I guarantee I'll build a company from the ground up. Support myself right from there. Yeah. You learn. My mother kicked me out when I was 18. I didn't believe her when she told me that story. And she said, oh, when I turned 16 years old, remember she called me and you got to get yourself a job because I'm no longer supporting you. Now, food and all that stuff, yeah. But as for clothes and all that stuff, that's cut off. No, you're getting that yourself. Got myself a nice little job, watering flowers. Made a little money, was able to go in. Oh, don't you dare jump up on it. I got my oh, go over there, you joker. I can jump up there and mess up my stuff. But yeah. Got a nice little job at Crimp's Flower Shop, watering down flowers and taking care of deliveries and stuff. Made my money. Then after that, got a job working over a couple of different other places. Then I got my other job at Pizza Hut. I was working over there. I was making money buying my sneakers, clothes, and everything else I wanted. And that's how I was. And some days she was the kind of person that was, old school. Kids don't even do this anymore. If my mother cooked, you didn't want it, you starved. That was it. It was on the table. There was no getting on your phone and ordering for no, what do you call it, dine and dash or whatever that stuff is. There was none of that nonsense at all. You ate what was on that table. If anything was on that table, you starved. That was in there. That was in there. You wasn't going in the refrigerator and getting anything extra. You ate what was on the table. Who remembers this one? When the street lights come on, you better be in front of the house. Don't make me come get you. Right in your mouth, no rolling your eyes, none of that. You turned around and you walked out the door and you shut it when you want. And you better not shut it hard. You get your behind kicked for you. Better shut it softly, the same way you came in. And you went downstairs and went about your business. That's how it was. Nowadays, kids will come in, opening up your room, jump all over your bed, be all up in your face. And you get mad at them, they get mad at you, say things back, run their mouth, roll their eyes, slam a door. Oh, man, you would have got murdered for stuff like that when I was coming up. Oh, heck no. But no, that was the rule. I didn't believe it. I didn't think my mom had it in her to kick me out at freaking 18. Went out and bought all this stuff, sneakers, clothes, stereo system, new TV, stuff like that. When I came home one day from work, nobody was home. They moved. Nobody was there. They moved. They were gone. My stuff was still upstairs, but was it. I had to go down. Local junk man down the street. He bought everything from everybody in the neighborhood, and I sold all my stuff over there. Got a few dollars, Slept on a park bench, was homeless for a little bit. Contacted my sister in Delaware and said, hey, look, I need a place to stay. She said, come on down here. Got a bus ticket. She showed me how to get a bus ticket because I know anything about that. Got a bus ticket. Went down to Delaware, stayed down there for about a month or so, sleeping on the couch. And then I realized that I needed something better. It's time for me to be a man and live my life. So I left. Paid her a couple of dollars. I worked a little job down there, did some dishwashing, and paid her a couple of dollars. This was when I was 18. Paid her a couple of dollars. And basically, all right, there we go. I got a sister when it started getting colder. She bunked on her sofa. So I bunked on her sofa, saved her some money, worked at this little small job, paid her a little something while I was there because that's how I was raised. Got myself off. Left Huntington Park. Went over, I was going back and forth between training and I was going back and forth. After training, I was walking down to my old neighborhood visiting my friends. That's how I bumped into this guy called Howard. Me and him became really good best friends. I got every single day. And then I got to know his family and all that, and I came good with their family. I was like, you know what? I need to move where I'm at. You got an empty room up there. I'll give you guys like freaking like $250 for the room. That was extra income for their mom because their mom was doing okay, but they could be doing better. So I dropped in there, and that's where I started my company. That's where it all started. So when I left at Huntington Park, I moved up there, put the rest of my stuff in storage, moved in with them, gave her $250. I liked that I got along with the family. I knew all of them up there, I knew the whole neighborhood up there. So, it was like going back to my own home. So anyway, in that area, I spent about a year up there for a while. I was doing a little IT tech, working a couple of jobs here and there, and that's how I ended up bumping into my buddy June and the rest of all my other friends over there at the sneaker store. And Buddy worked over at the cell phone store, and I became all good friends with them. My Latino brothers, I became all good friends with them. And June was a tech kid just like me, and he's the one where I came to his house and saw the projection screen. When I saw the projection screen he had over there, I was like, "Whoa, what the freak is that?" At the time, I was all TVs. That's what I was. I didn't think about projections. And I got involved in projections through him. Bought my first projector, sold my two TVs. Went to Home Depot, prayed. That's because they didn't have the items I needed to make the screen. Lord blessed me with the idea. That's the first one of my blessings from the Lord. Now I have many more, but I'm just saying. Came home, painted it up on the wall, and my friend Howard walked in and said, you should sell this. And bingo, here I am. And until this day, since I'm 53 years old, I've only been home one time. That's it. Literally because my house burned to the ground. It literally burned down. I was living a block away from my mother when I moved out. I was moved in with my friends up the street, and the house literally caught on fire and almost burned to the ground. And my mother was like, well, you can move in, but you got to have rent money. And I had money always saved up. That's what my mother always taught me to always save, always have money, never spend this, never spend what you don't need, or don't spend what you don't want, and always save money. So when my house went down and my mother was living down the street, I could easily go back in there with about $300 and go, here you go, so and so and so, and move in there. I had a job, I was working, and I had money in the bank. But that's what you learn. That's why I said I'm glad they raised me that way, because I really didn't come and ask people for too much unless I needed it. And any place I laid my head, I always paid. All right. So, wow, all that. Yeah, that's how I got started. But without the Lord, none of this would be possible, because He's the one that allowed me to get through all that trial and tribulations to be here. And if it wasn't meant for me to be here, well, I'd still be in lockup right now, because, I'm not going to tell you what I went lockup for, but I was supposed to get 40 to 80 years. 40 minimum, 80 was maximum. And He blessed me to get out of that situation and be free and come out here and do what I need to do. Serve Him. He had a purpose for me. He had a purpose for me. That's the beautiful thing about it. I'll never forget that day, too. When I was going to court, we had a top DA, a really high-end DA. And yeah, because it couldn't have been when I was 18. But anyway, I say we had a top DA. The top DA was trying his hardest to certify me. And my mother sat there and said, when we got out of court, I think she spoke to the DA, and she said it ain't going to happen. And he was kind of surprised when she said, he said, it's not going to happen. She said, the Lord has plans for him, and it's not going to happen. Now, like I said, I'm sorry for what I've done that got me in that situation. And I'm happy to be out of that situation also, too. And don't worry, no, I didn't kill anybody. So, oh, you killed somebody? No, it's something stupid I did. But anyway, I don't, like, I would never be able to live with myself if I did anything like that. That's taking someone's life. It's not good at all. But anyway, I'm not that type of person. I never did that. Just something real dumb I did. It got me in some trouble. But anyway, my mother sat there and had a conversation. She saw the DA when he came out, and the DA, keep in mind, we do our shipment updates, we talk about everything. But anyway, my mother walked up to the DA and told him that I was not going to get certified as an adult, and I wasn't going to jail. That's what she told him. The DA was convinced I was going. I mean, heck, I went and I signed all the confessions. I did. I signed every last one of the confessions. I was young going in. And I signed all the confessions. So, I was terrified. And then, she came out there and she talked to the DA. And she said, no, he's not going to jail. He's not going to get any time you guys say he's going to get. He's going to do time. That is going to do. But he's not going to get the time that you guys think he's going to get. And they tried everything in the book. And it wasn't meant to be. God said it wasn't going to happen. I remember reading my Bible and hearing the Lord tell me, it's not going to happen. I got plans for you. It's not going to happen. And sure enough, I did 4 years. And after that, I'll never forget, I went to court for the last time, signed my release papers, and I was out. And I kept my promise. First Sunday I got baptized. So the first Sunday when I get out, Lord, I'm getting baptized. And I did. I kept my word. They couldn't certify me. They couldn't send me up. God protected me. What was going to happen? I didn't believe it at first when Mom told me. I said, well, they got the evidence. They got everything. I mean, I'm good as gone. I was already preparing for death already. I was already making plans to fight the bailiff. Hopefully he would shoot me in the process. But my mom said, nope, don't let the devil tell you that. You are not going to do any time. You're going to be out and you're going to do the Lord's work. And everything stacked against me in that courtroom, everything. But here I am. So when I sat in that courtroom, and my lawyer leaned over to me and says, look, man, you're looking at 40 minimum and 80 maximum. I'm not going to tell you what I did. Now, for those of you thinking, oh, we murdered something. No, I didn't murder anybody. I just did something really, 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 really stupid that put me in that situation. Being young and doing dumb stuff. But didn't anything like that. But anyway, it had nothing to do with murder or anything like that. Just something real dumb. But anyway, yeah, DA tried so many times, and he was just so frustrated. He was so frustrated. Couldn't figure out why. Nothing was working out. Everything he tried just wouldn't work out. He could not certify me. It couldn't be done. The judge just wouldn't do it. All the evidence was there. Confessions were there. Everything was there. They just couldn't get it done. And then they shipped me off to Norristown. That's where I was at. Stayed over there. And then after that, after I came out of Norristown, that's where I became a real serious Christian. Came real close to the Lord over there. And then that's when I was released, sent home. 4 years and walked away. That's where I found God, right there, in that place. Getting locked up was the best thing that ever happened to me. I can honestly say that. And the reason why, now what I did to get locked up, no, was not good. But getting locked up was the best thing ever happened to me. Because the road I was traveling down was a very destructive road. Either I was going to kill somebody, or I was going to be killed, something bad was going to happen. And it was, God saw it coming. He saw what the devil was planning for me already. And he saw it coming a mile away and says, look, I got to get this man somewhere where I can control and get my hands on. Because right now, the way he's going, he's either going to kill somebody or someone's going to kill him. And I was living in an ultra-violent neighborhood. Anybody know where Strawberry Mansions in the 80s? That's where I was at. In the 80s when crack came out, yeah, I was in that area, Strawberry Mansion. If you know that area in Philadelphia, I was in an ultra-violent area. And people I was hanging around, they weren't doing any good. You only had two ways, and I lie to you not, you only had a couple ways out of that neighborhood, either going to jail or you was going out in the coffin, one or another. And I buried a lot of my friends that were in that neighborhood. Very few of them got out. But the rest of them, either in jail or dead. That's what happened to them. Wrong place, wrong time. In the morning, go to the store. I had a friend of mine named Joey. Never forget Joey. Joey was a good kid. He was good. He was a little older than the rest of us, but we thought he was a good kid. He was a good guy. He was a good dude. I met Joey because I was walking down the street and I was out of my area. I had my boombox. Just came back from a party and I was having some fun with some friends and everything. And I had my boombox on me. And as I was walking up, I saw a group of kids come across the street and corner me. And they were trying to take my boombox out of my hand. So we're in there trying to fight, trying to defend, trying to keep my unit. And I remember Joey walking down the street. Joey was a dealer. Big time dealer. He knew people. And everybody knew Joey. So when Joey came down the street and saw me fighting to keep my box, he started yelling at the kids. And the kids separated. They left. They knew who Joey was. So after that, me and Joey became somewhat friends. Like not real close friends, but somewhat friends. But later on, this is how crazy the neighborhood was. A lot of you not. This is how it was in Strawberry Mansion. Jamaicans came in. Now, I don't know if people thinking, oh, no, I got Jamaicans in my family. These particular individuals, I love when people come in, people say dumb stuff. They come in, they think one race is responsible for the entire race. No, we got all bad apples in every race. But these guys came in, they took over the entire block. They fortified it. They were something else. They were interesting. And they had a corner store on the corner. No, it was Ivan and Joey. It was two of them. They had a corner store. No, that corner store belonged to Ivan. Ivan had the corner store. And Joey, I guess, I don't know what he did at the store. But anyway, it was right in that little area where these guys were at. So they took over that whole section in there. So there was a little beef between them and the other ones. So Joey was out there, sitting out there, minding his own business. This store is probably about a good maybe 2 blocks from the house. And all you hear is, what the freak? Yeah, they emptied an entire round of AK-47, entire clip into him. He was still standing up. He was already going. Yep, he passed away. I went to his funeral. And I said, oh, that sounds so horrible. Yeah, well, that's how it was. That's how it was living in these crazy neighborhoods. You get up in the morning. Most people, when they get up in the morning, you put your sneakers on, walk out the door, and pop, pop, pop. My life was a little different. I got up the door, I had to carry a gun on me. I was young. I was carrying a firearm. I had no choice. You never know when something's going to break out. You're going to be in the middle of that nonsense. And you don't want to be in the middle of it like it was my intention to basically go out and get in trouble, but you're going to be in the middle of it. You know, anything happens, especially on the basketball court. A lot of stuff pops up on the basketball court. You can be out there having a conversation, minding your own business, and an argument can be popping off right next to you. 2 guys who owe money to each other, and the only way they can result either fist fighting, chances are most times it's going to be guns. And it happens. And nothing different, it happens. So that's when we went to the court. We all were carrying. We went to the court because we never knew exactly. We were going to be caught in that situation for something we'd have nothing to do with. But it was a normal thing. Now I remember as I got older, living in a different neighborhood, living in a little nicer neighborhood, and you didn't really think about that. It's still in the back of your mind. Your mind always functions that way, no matter what. You got to go through that grinder, and you can never settle anywhere because your head is always on a swivel because you want nightmare you went through. But I remember we had a family get together. My nieces and everybody was there, all family. And we're sitting there. We just went to my nice neighborhood and all. But, it can happen anywhere. So we all went out. We had this big barbecue, and all the men decided, let's go down to the courts, run a little basketball, have some fun. It's Philly versus New Jersey because the majority of my family came from New Jersey, everyone's from Philly. So we're going to have this Philly versus Jersey game. Everything was going well. We go down to the park, got Jamaicans over there chilling, cool, chilling over there, having a little fun, a little whatever they're smoking over there, cool, and having their fun at the pool, and the group over there. Not only Jamaican, but a lot of people over there, but some Jamaicans playing reggae music, having some fun, and kids are over here in the park, having people walking their dogs, and we got us out there playing basketball, having some fun, and all you hear, are you freaking kidding me? Right there for all these people. So the way the basketball court is designed is you have to literally walk up the stairs because it's on a higher platform. If you've ever been there, when they have a lot of in New York, you walk up the platform and they have to plan to run a ball. We're up on a high platform, thank God. Because if we were actually at the bottom level, we'd have got shot. Because the argument started a little bit across the street from the basketball court. For God knows what, I don't know. But two people decided to exchange gunfire, and in the direction they were standing, where the guy was standing, he was standing right where the basketball court is, which means any rounds that didn't hit him, guess where they went? Into the basketball court in every place else. And they were all automatic. You can hear it. We're sitting there laying on the ground. I'm looking at my family members, and I'm watching the sparks go off on the gates where the bullets were ricocheting off the gate. Everybody in the section of the pool, they jumped in the pool. There's a pool over there. They all jumped in the pool. People on the ground holding their dogs. It was a mess. After that, drove off. A couple of minutes felt like a couple of hours. I had to get up, make sure I wasn't shot, make sure my family members were shot. Everybody was okay. Everybody was checking on everybody. I had to go over there. The guys were over there having a little party over there. See if they was okay. Everybody was checking to see if everybody was okay. Call the police. Police come out there. There's rounds all out there in the street. There you go. Craziness, people. Craziness. If it was meant for me to go, I would have gone already. All right. What are we doing? Okay, we're supposed to go to YouTube. We need something from YouTube. YouTube! Yeah. That's when people make them statements. I laugh at y'all when you make them statements. You have an idea the nightmare my life used to be? When I grew up, what I saw, what I've been through, what I witnessed. Whew, man, no idea. That's why every once in a while, the customer, I like the customer because the customer relates to my world. I like him. Cool dude. Yeah. I've been through some craziness, man. And like I said, it wasn't all bad. I had a lot of fun, man. Got a chance to met some real cool people, you know what I mean? Hung out, had fun, went to parties, all that stuff. Had a lot of fun. But it came with some bad sides too. All right, let me see what we're looking for here. That's why I learned to put my trust in God. Man. And that's when I wasn't with the Lord. I wasn't anywhere near with the Lord. I survived all that craziness. Could have taken me any given time he wanted to. But he had a purpose for me. I think I'm gonna buy me a paint sprayer. Hey, squirrely boy, I'm gonna hook you up with some food. I'm gonna get me I'm gonna do me a customized paint sprayer called OLED Light. I'm gonna call it the OLED Light Cannon. We're gonna get it when we do all the coats because I just want to grab some random stuff off freaking Amazon and just convert it into OLED screens. That's why I feel that they need to have more stuff in these. I said when I was in some of my other neighborhoods that I lived in, we had a lot of places we can go to keep out of trouble. You had Boy Scouts, and Boy Clubs, and you had all kinds of rec centers and stuff like that, and mentors and people. At the end of the day, the kids need. That's why I want to put a couple of places in some of these places. Like comic book stores are fantastic because it allows kids to go to a whole nother different area and, just go way outside the box. I saw kids out there today on skateboards. When I was coming up, you barely saw an African American on a skateboard before. You see them from time to time, but it was really rare you saw one. That's what they need. They need something to open their mind to something different. That's like programs where they get into golf or polo or stuff like that. You know what I mean? Show them there's other things in life besides that violent environments they have to be in. Comic books are fantastic. But then you have the government come along and snatching and shutting down all the programs for kids. Where can they go? Keep them occupied. Give them an interest in something, give them a hobby and a desire, a passion for something, and they wouldn't be in trouble. I remember I went to the Boy Scouts. Was the Boy Scouts? No, Boy Scout was Boy Scouts. I went to the Boy Scouts and the sole purpose of getting a pocket knife. That's what it was for. Just a pocket knife, that's all I wanted. But then I realized you don't get the pocket knife. You have to earn badges to get to the level to get the pocket knife. And then with me saying, okay, I earned me a couple badges, I'm gonna get this knife. Fell in love with it. Then it became a desk. It became more about the badges than the pocket knife. Why do they give these things? These things never work. All right, we need to get a fish tank. Do we have a fish tank? We need a fish tank! All right. Well, trash man, I'll get you next time. Got you next time, trash man. Taco, you want to go outside for a little bit? Come on. You're watching your squirrel out there. I can watch you from here, so don't worry about it. Come on. Go outside and get squirrely. Go ahead. You can go outside. Go outside and get some air. Because at least if I'm in the kitchen, I can watch you from here. You won't get any trouble, Bronson. You Bronson. You crazy Bronson, you. And I want to pick up a fish tank. I think I'm gonna contact my buddy because I need a 55 gallon tank. Because I need that tank for experimenting. So we're developing a product that can be dropped underwater, and we're going to be using 3D mapping to project through water to actually project an image underwater. Here for a project, I need a big enough tank for it. Hold on. We'll wash. Ah! Ah! I love how it's funny how when I was coming up, you were told to sneeze into your hands, which again, not good. Even handkerchiefs are nasty because people blow in the handkerchiefs and they pick up the same handkerchief and blow their hands and pick up something, transferring germs all day long. Either way, but people basically sneeze into their arm. They don't wash their arm. They wash their hands. What are you washing your hands for? You can sneeze in your hands. You don't hug somebody and the germ transfers over. Freaking me out. Freaking me out. Freaking me out. Let's see. Where are you at? Freaking me out. out, man. Freaking me out. Wow. Where you at, Taco? Good. Oh, I'm not seeing you. All right, good. You can stay there. I don't want you getting in any trouble. I gotta net that area off. For some reason, you just got this obsession of being over in that one section. We need to net it off. Let's see. Looking for something here we need. Wait a 38. This would be way too far back. This would be where it should be at. Yeah, it should be in here. Alright, so it's be after, it's gonna be afterwards. It definitely would be afterwards. So it had to be in here. It had to be afterwards. That's attached. If it's attached, then it'd be in between that. It couldn't be there. It couldn't be possible. So it's not in there. So where is it? Oh wait, that's a test. That's a test. That's a test. Oh yeah, we definitely have to use weight underneath that. Yeah, we had the labels right there. That's why. Definitely, yeah. They would definitely have to be underneath that because that's where we had the labels. Into the videos went missing of their account. 200-inch screen paint-ins, so yeah, be somewhere off the short those setups. Let's see. Yeah, missing videos, more missing videos, more missing videos from that guy. There it is. A lot of videos are missing. No, we definitely know it can't be over there. That's an XFER, so we definitely know it can't be in that section. Hunting for a video that we need. I'm looking for my charger, probably not, knowing me. Alright. Okay, there it is. I know we had it somewhere. Okay, that's it right there. I was way off on that one. Definitely way off on that one. Uh, Squirrel boy. Squirrel boy. Squirrel boy. Squirrel boy. Squirrel boy. Squirrel boy. When am I repeating the word squirrel boy because I got a squirrel looking at it right there. That's the first squirrel I was feeding in COVID. Still comes up to the house. All right, Patches, well, I got you taken care of. All right, ordered y'all new food. I'm gonna start making y'all freaking. At the end of the day, that's why they sell this stuff like people are eating this stuff. So I'm gonna make my own form of food. I don't know if they like it at the end of the day anyway. I can buy my bags by the bulk. Make as much as I want. Swell boy. All right, let's get to these shipping updates. And like, can you talk too much in your demonstrations? You drive us crazy. Let me get a pen. Is that paper over here? There we go. Well, I'll talk anyway about God. That's what I talk about. I talk about God. Some people don't want to hear about God. We don't want to hear about God until we're on an airplane and a wing pops off, or a train jumps the tracks and derails, or something crazy happens. Then we want to hear about God. We're all ears. We're definitely all ears when that happens. You know, it's interesting that some people don't even want to hear or talk anything about God until that day comes up, or close day comes up, or that awakening comes up. But then they're on the ground praying their hearts out, talking to God like, oh Lord, please hear me, so and so and so. I don't want to die. It's interesting. But any other time, they don't thank him for this and don't thank him for that. And now they're in there begging and praying that he's going to hear them. But yet you have no time for him. Isn't that selfish? Oh, right. I was the same way myself. I was out there running the streets and carrying on and acting up. Man, you couldn't talk to me about God. I didn't want to hear about it at all, period. You couldn't come to me and talk to me about God. That's the last thing I wanted to hear in my day. I forget one time I was out there with my buddies skating and having fun, had my missions on. I had mission up. I love mission skates. Everything I have is mission. Mission gloves, hockey stick, everything was mission. And I was sitting up there with these $800 mission hockey blades on. Hockey roller blades on, not blades, roller blades on. And this Christian couple comes up to me and they start talking about Christ. And I tell them, man, if you don't get out of my face, that stupid nonsense, I don't want to hear that crap. But then the day, God, I ain't got nothing to do with God, and God ain't got nothing to do with me. That's literally what I said out of my mouth. What's God gonna do for me that I can't do? Another reason why my mother's a serious Christian, she wanted trying to get us to stay in the church, especially in that area, which I can see why. And I was like, man, if I become a Christian, I'm going to be part of a cult. That's what I told her. So I'm not going to be able to do what I want to do because I'm going to be controlled. I don't want that nonsense in my life. I live my life the way I want to live it. Yeah, that ended up real well, didn't it? Oh, it ended up really, really well. But all that time I sat there and denied God, now I'm sitting in a courtroom praying for mercy that I may be able to see somewhat of my life when I get out. Maybe if I'm lucky, they'll give me 20. I don't want to go down this road. I need help. But all that time I was out running the street, when the opportunity was there before me to become a Christian, I denied it. I didn't want it then. I didn't want nothing to do with God. Good thing he's merciful. He's merciful, ain't he? It's amazing that he's merciful and forgiving. Because if he wasn't, I wouldn't be here today. And he heard me. Heard me loud and clear. But if he didn't, I wouldn't be here talking to you right now about it. I wouldn't be here having this conversation with you. I'm cutting out batch numbers. I wouldn't be having this conversation with you. I'd be in lockup. Probably dead by now. Yep. Probably did. Who knows? I'm glad he listened. I'm glad he changed my life. Do I miss Mo's life? Nah. Biggest mistake I made in my life is not knowing him sooner. Hey, Patches. I got some food coming in for you, Patches. Gonna be all Patches. Patches. Everybody Patches is up there like, what? What? Yeah. I'm gonna hook y'all up for Christmas. Finish building y'all little squirrel world out there. Hook you up for Christmas. Yeah. That's why, like I said, when I was out there running around and carrying on and acting up and doing all this dumb stuff, I was listening to the devil and everything he had to say. I was feeding off everything he had to say. I was acting off everything he had to say. That's why I feel sorry, and I know what the outcome is for people who want to follow that road. When they go down that road, I feel sorry for them because they don't know what's waiting for them. Bad thing that's waiting for them, nothing good. Ah, I was wondering where is that new body like this. Yeah, best thing ever happened to me was becoming a Christian. Best thing in life. And you go through the process of thinking about all the evil stuff you have done to people down in time. At one point, I didn't think I was even worthy of being saved. And you start thinking about, my goodness, you start really thinking about it. When you're doing evil out in the world, you don't really think about the stuff that you do. When you become a Christian and you have remorse and you feel that pain of what you've done to other people, it's endless. It's unbearing at one point. Even at the point where I even prayed for the Lord to take my life because I didn't want to live through what I did to other people. It was very hard to go through. But reading the Bible, I read about Saul, how he went out and murdered thousands and thousands of Jews, thousands of them. Slaves and murdered them, kids, women, just murdered them. On his way, going to a town to gather up the Jews and prosecute them and put them to death, God knocked him off his horse. Oh. And turned that man that was a murderer toward his own people into one of his apostles. So when I read that, I said, wow, God can change him, he can change me. Because the devil will get in there and tell you, nah, you're not worthy of being saved. Look at all the destruction you caused in life. Look at all the pain you caused in life. God doesn't want you at the end of the day. You might as well just kill yourself. You kill yourself, Satan got you. That's what he'll tell you. He doesn't want you. Oh no. You're too dirty, you're too this, you're too that. He doesn't want you. It's kind of, he wants you. That's what he wants. So he can change you to something better. That's the same trick the devil tried to use on me. Even in my moment of weakness, I'm going through my testimony, my trials and tribulations, and I'm going through all the pain that I'd caused other people. Now I feel this remorse for what I was doing. Here comes Satan walking along, talking about, nah, he don't want you. You're too dirty. He doesn't want you. Just go kill yourself. Then I read what happened to Saul, and I'm like, wow, this guy did all this way beyond what I've done, and my goodness, God made him an apostle? Are you kidding me? If he can save him, he can save me. That's the devil don't want. God, snap. Almost had him. Almost had him. I almost had him. I lost him. Oh. I just want to take that. Lots of teeth, lots of teeth. I figured this year for my youngins, I don't have kids, but my youngins are my friends' kids, and I adopt them like my own. So I know in a sense they were born. So this year we're gonna make giant gingerbread men and women for them. Of course, I don't think the mother's gonna approve the giant cookies, but whatever, they can all eat it. It'd be cool. They'll all like it, giant cookies, because I like gingerbread anyway. So that's what we're gonna do, giant gingerbread. They don't allow me to buy sweets from anymore because I go a little bit overboard. But, you know, that's why they don't allow me to buy sweets from anymore, because the dental didn't come back so well for them, their report. Maybe I might have something to do with it, but I buy them a lot of candy. I think this year I'm going to do some fruit for them. I'm going to give them a little bit of candy. They're just Christmas. Just not the amount of candy that I give them. It's way too much. When I'm processing orders, people, this is my chance to relax. You have any idea what I got lined up on my plate today? I got to paint a room when it gets here. So at least I'll get this done and get this finished. So that'll be good. I got to paint a room. Got a project to finish up. Work to do. I'm glad I'd rather be out there than in here. On top of that, I get to talk about the Lord. It's a beautiful thing, people. And some people say, I had one guy I was doing some business with on Instagram, and he was bothered at the fact that I put God is amazing in all my stuff. Where's my name? You fuzzy berry, you. Tiger War. Right back. Oh man, I want to get some cereal and watch some cartoons so bad. But anyway, so he was bothered that I put in God is amazing in all my videos. I was, man, well, he came from rough streets too. I said, man, if you knew where I came from, man, at the end of the day, yeah, God is amazing. So he was bothered by that. He didn't like that at all, period. He said, well, you know, if you're going to sell product and you're going to be, people are going to buy from you, you can't add God into it. So how do you think I got my company to begin with? So let me get this straight. I got my blessing from God, and I'm going to deny him because I'm worrying about people not buying from me because I talk about God. That's the most backwards thing I've ever heard in my entire life. So even though he had millions of viewers and he could have basically boosted my numbers, I cut him off. Because I told you before, God comes first. People have to understand, man, that people, that's the devil. When it comes to you talking to you about that nonsense at the end of the day, God provides everything we need. We can have one person in here, we can have nobody in here. At the end of the day, guess who makes sure that I'm taken care of at the end of the day? My Lord and Savior. He blesses me with people, good customers. He blesses me with good business contracts. When we get something that doesn't look right, we know this because, again, that's what the Holy Spirit is for. Allowing you to see things that give that second sight that you can see, that connection with God. That you can see that when something is right, you can see the devil and what do you call it, sheep's and wolf, or the wolf in sheep's clothing. You can see that. So at the end of the day, no matter how much people may try to slander us or tear us down or whatever they try to do, everything comes from God. That's the end of it. I've never met a man and never will meet a man that can topple or take over God, because you can't. And since you can't, you can't take over us, because again, I can't explain it to you enough. Everything we have comes from God. My business, my contacts, people who basically purchase and buy from us, all this comes from God. God has control over all things. You have to have that kind of faith at the end of the day, that he has control over all things. That's why when I see people like, when they do those, that stuff doesn't bother me. Do you know who I serve at the end of the day? I love how it says in the Bible how evil gnashes his teeth and God laughs. There's only two on the earth. Well, actually, two. Not saying on the earth, that around. Devil's here on earth, devil's not in heaven. But anyway, there's Satan and there is God. You serve one, you serve the other. Like they said, you can't get fresh water and polluted water from the same well, and you can't sit at a table with angels and demons. It's one or the other. We serve God over here. So when the Lord tells me that, that my hand's going to be blessed, when he tells me, he gives me the ideas and everything we design and everything we build and everything we have, it all comes from him. And when the devil pops up with his evil messages and carrying on and acting up, God laughs at that, and so do we. What can you do to me at the end of the day? Honestly, demon, you can't do anything to me. I serve the Lord. If you can't take on my Lord and Savior, then you definitely can't take on me at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I serve God. And you have to go through him to get through me. And it would never happen. Never, ever happen. You have to have that kind of faith. Now, when I first started off, my faith was extremely weak. Extremely weak. You go through Christian boot camp. You go through trials and tribulations. But as you go through more trials and more tribulations, and you have to go through more struggles in life, you become stronger and stronger and stronger. And God has to put you through this. A Christian's not going to live a perfect life. It's not going to work out that way. He has to go through the struggles in order to build and make a stronger Christian, a stronger soldier in Christ. All that conditioning makes him stronger. Every time the devil comes at him, you've been through that before. Like, yeah, I've seen my Lord take care of that already. We're good. Bye-bye. Yeah. We have faith in the Lord. Love the Lord. Love him. Yes. The only way to live. Well, for me, like I said, other people may see it differently. But for me, that's how it is for me. It's the only way to live. Like when Jesus, imagine being able to see Jesus. If people saw Jesus, and he asked the rich man, rich man came to him and said, how he served the Lord and how he practiced the Sabbath and he did all this stuff. And Jesus said, okay, leave your riches behind, pick up your cross and carry me. And he couldn't do it. He couldn't leave his riches because his riches became his God. That's why they said it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter to the kingdom of heaven, because they are basically, their money is their God. I wish I'd have had that opportunity, because I'd have dropped everything and left it behind. Like, oh, yes, I get to be with Jesus, walk around and talk and be with him and all the things I could ask him. Yeah, definitely drop all this behind and go. I'm good. Because again, what the rich man didn't understand, if he had followed the Lord, he would have had everything provided for him. God would have took care of him. But he was so entrapped by his riches. There you go. Hey, come here. What you doing out there? Hey, Taco. Sneaky. Being sneaky. Furry bear, you. You furry bear. All right. We got these done. Woohoo! We got orders going out, right? These are done, right? Let me see. We gotta get some type. Taco, what do you want for Christmas? I have no idea what I want for Christmas. I don't know. I haven't. Oh, shoot, with the keyboard. I have no idea. Please, seriously? No way. No way. Alright, so this right here is 50. 50. So you gotta go out today. Labels. There are enough labels on here showing them. Labels. 20 labels per unit on there. Let me see. Actually, today, we need to go to, actually, I need to go to, where's the restaurant? It's not even on here, is it? Okay, I thought we had it on here. Alright, we gotta go pull that one up. We don't need to. Hey, I want to hear it. That's amazing. Damn. Let me see. That's actually larger than that one? Really? Seriously? I thought that'd be smaller. Oh, that's definitely smaller. We did the 4 by the 4s are too small. It's definitely not going to fit. So it would have to be. And these are actually larger? Really? They actually are larger. And if we're shrinking the fish, they're so larger? Well, that's definitely too huge. That's definitely huge. Okay. Let's see what these look like. I'm curious. Give me like, give me 3 of them. Let's see what we got going on with this. That'd be good. Oh, they were that size. I'm thinking like, okay, yeah, I was way off on that one. So they were that size. Okay, cool. Let's get off on that one. We have two to do. We'll put down shipping updates and talk with about God. Cause like I don't want to hear that early in the morning. Yeah, you should want to hear that early in the morning. But the way this world's going, they got two. I'm not gonna leave that alone. They got, man, the way this world's going right now, you better get religion quick, real quick. You better get religion quick. The devil is rampant. He is rampant. You better get religion quick. All kinds of crazy stuff is going on in this world. Like the fellow on freaking what's it, Twister? Yeah, Twister. They're talking about this huge massive category over category 5 tornado. And I was like, so what do we do if we run into it? Get religion fast. Real fast. Yeah, because you be ready to meet your maker because that's a big tornado running into. Get religion fast. I don't get how I watch out preachers try to make predictions when God is going to come. That's fake. Can't do that. I'm sorry. I don't know. That's why they all come up wrong. Every last one of them come up wrong. You know why? Because you can't. It says in the Bible. Nobody knows when God is coming back. Not even the angels in heaven. The angels in heaven themselves don't know when God is coming back. How is man himself, that is lower than an angel, going to know exactly when God's coming back? I can never understand how people make they have these false predictions. Oh, there's a guy named Harold Canting. I never forgot this guy. He had a thing called Family Radio, and it was a good station. Very good Bible teaching. I love the Bible teaching. Music. Right now, like I said, a lot of the old-fashioned hymns, that's what I listen to all day. I like them. I like the newer stuff, kind of like the old-fashioned hymns. It was a really good station. It had antennas and stations all around the world where they're spreading the Lord's word. And then this guy got hooked up in the numbers and all this stuff and started making all these weird predictions that God was going to come back. And it's a shame because a lot of people, at the end of the day, got caught up in that mess. But it says right there in the Bible, you have to be careful of false prophets because they will pop up. And they will lead people in the wrong way. Even the very elect can be fooled. So you have to be careful. You have to read what's in the Bible. If they basically don't state what's in the Bible, then at the end of the day, you don't know how to basically defend yourself. And I have some people saying, well, I don't have to read the Bible. You should want to read the Bible. The devil knows the Bible. He knows it by heart. So how are you going to basically fight with someone or battle with someone? At the end of the day, who knows your battle plans better than you? You're not winning that war. You got two strategists, and the strategist knows his and yours, and you don't know your own. That's not good. The outcome of your army is going to be really, really, really poor. So you have to know the Bible. You have to study the Bible, but don't get caught up into it. People get caught up to it where they have to try to figure out the mysteries of the Bible. It's not meant for you to know this. It's meant for you to know that when the time comes, God will explain it to you. But you need to learn the teachings and understanding of it. But some people go too far into it and they come up with these weird predictions that, oh, God's coming back at this particular time. And the sad thing about that is this man literally had radio stations everywhere and he was pumping out this craziness about how God was coming back on May the 21st. I'll never forget that day because on May the 21st, you know what I did? It was supposed to be the rapture. I went across the street, got a hoagie, a bag of chips, and a root beer, and I went in the house and played the Xbox 360. That's what I did. That's how far back it was. When the world was supposed to end. And it was crazy because you had people who literally believed this and they were euthanizing their animals because they thought the rapture was coming. Some people were selling their homes because they weren't going to be here. There were people dropping out of college, selling off all their stuff. And these people were in this, like I said, have whatever. He's based in California. He was based in California. He passed away, but he's based in California. And they had this huge gathering. All these people were all gathered together. And they were out there. One guy sat there and said he brought his toothbrush because of the journey. No, are you kidding me? And none of that's going to happen like that at the end of the day. You'll know when God comes back. Trust me. It'll be something you've ever seen before in your entire life. You'll know it. When he comes, you'll see it. You'll notice it. It'll be something you've never seen before in your entire life. But other than that, no. And they're supposed to be called up in front of everybody and taken into heaven. So all these people were sitting out there, and there were atheists in the crowd challenging these people's beliefs in this stuff by saying, hey, look, if you believe 100% that you're going up to heaven and you're not going to be here, you might as well give me the deed to your house or give me the title to your car. And they were signing over their stuff to these people because they really believed that God was coming back on the 21st. And guess what? He didn't. We're here right now. Don't believe in false prophets. And a lot of people lost everything. But the good thing about it is there were other Christians who didn't believe in that nonsense out there to help these people get through the hardships that they're going to have to go through because of the false prophet. Trying to help them get on their feet and reestablish and strengthen their faith and put them on the right path. Yeah, you got to be careful about that kind of stuff. That's why I said you got to read the Bible. Any man who sits there and predicts and says he's telling you when God is coming back is a liar. Because no one knows when God is going to come back. Only God knows this. Angels in heaven do not know this. Only God. So, gotta be careful about that kind of stuff. People making false predictions and all that stuff. A lot of things I see in the churches today I just don't like. Don't like it. You know, because you got people think at the end of the day that I don't want to give money to the church because if I give money to the church, then that means the preacher's going to take the money, he's going to rob me. At the end of the day, you could have the most crookedest church on the face of the planet. If God tells you to give tithes to the church, you're giving tithes to God, not to the preacher. That's what you're doing. If the preacher takes that money and goes spends it the way he wants to spend it, he's got to deal with God at the end of the day. You just give your money to the church because you're giving your tithes to God, not to the preacher. It's the preacher's job to take that money and put it back into the church, put it back into the community. If he doesn't do that and he spends it on himself, he's got to deal with God at the end of the day. That's what he has to deal with. But you also have to be careful also too about them constantly asking for tithes, like coming up and asking for pledges for $1 billion jets and all kinds of stuff they don't need. Why would you need $1 billion jet to begin with? Oh, the excuse is it's easier for me to get from A to B to pray and heal a man, or one of the excuses was because of COVID, it's safer for me to be on this plane to be really at the end of the day. So if you believe in God, you could get on an airplane with everybody infected by COVID, and I guarantee you, God will allow you to walk off that plane. If it was your destiny, if God said, hey, look, I need you to go over here and do such and so for me, and you can get on a plane and everybody can be infected by COVID, God will protect you. When you walk off that plane, you won't even be infected whatsoever because God has a mission. He has something for you to do. So he's going to make sure he protects you in the best way possible so you can get his word out. He's not going to have you collapse and fall and go under trying to do his work. So that is a lie at the end of the day. You do not need $1 billion jet to go from A to B. Jesus didn't have $1 billion jet, even though he could have had one. In that era, yeah, it's God at the end of the day. So, again, you don't need $1 billion jet. You want $1 billion jet. You don't need $1 billion jet. And just think you spent $1 billion for an aircraft that you could have taken the money and you could have used the billions of dollars to feed people. You got people that don't have enough food on their table, people who can barely pay their bills, people who need help with their kids. You could have done so much with that money. It's not even funny, but you choose to put it into an airplane that you can sit your behind into and fly from A to B. Oh, there's a day waiting for you. There is a day coming for you. I see these pictures. I don't like them. There is a day coming for you. You don't need all that at all, period. All these fake healings where I saw a guy walk over and wave his hand and the whole crowd falls over. Do you have any idea how you're talking about messing with a loaded gun. That's just unbelievable. Messing with a loaded gun. That's like playing Russian roulette with the cannon. Let's just stick my head in the cannon. You light that fuse over there, and let's see if this thing takes my head off. That's pretty much what they're doing. You don't need all that. I saw one deposition on a preacher. Oh my goodness, on YouTube, the stuff he was taking was unbelievable. $5,000 for Louis Vuitton belts, $60,000 in suits, spent $150,000 to cut a car in half and convert it to a limousine. There was some mansion, it was something like $8 point something million that was for, it was put up for, I guess, certain people, members of the church that would go there. Well, why are you members going to an $8 million mansion? It doesn't make any sense. Trips to Disney, were all kinds of stuff. And then meanwhile, you got some poor little lady who's sitting there, can't afford to pay her bills, don't have enough food on her table, and she's putting her ties to you. But don't worry, God has got her taken care of. At the end of the day, he's going to have you taken care of too. That's why that man was sitting in court in front of a deposition. They were questioning him on all that stuff that he was spending now. And he's just sitting there lying at the table. Lying at the table. Unbelievable. Don't worry about it. You got an answer for that. When that day comes, when how you rob God, you're going to answer for it. That's exactly what you're going to do. And that one, you're not going to be able to sit there and tell your little lies. God is right there, going to be right up on there saying, nope, 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 nope. Good luck on that one. See how fast the devil can get you in trouble. That fast, that quick. Greed. Greedy. That's greedy. Sell your soul for these trinkets on the earth. Living in the moment. That's pretty much what it is. So you gotta read your Bible. So that way, when some of these preachers are up there, I'm not saying all of them are bad, but you do got a lot of them that are. You got to read your Bible, so you got to challenge these preachers. Sometimes you do. I'll go to churches, and some churches we used to go into it when I was out there. You had one guy had this big banner on the side of the church. I think it's over in Germantown area somewhere. But I had this big banner at the church of him and his wife. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to put you and your wife's face on the side of a church. That's God's house, not yours. Shouldn't be up there. Or people come and they talk about the preacher, oh, pastor this and pastor that, and so and pastor this, so and so. It ain't about him at the end of the day. It's about God at the end of the day. He's a vessel to preach about the Lord. That's it. It ain't about him. It's about God. That's what it's about. Don't worship him. You worship God. I never could understand, and I still will never understand to this day, how in a church they would have these seats that would be a little higher up, like little tiny thrones. And in the middle, they would have one throne in the middle, but the rest of them would be these smaller thrones. And they'd be high up, and you're down here. Like, I never understood why they had that in there. Because, you're not higher than me at the end of the day. You're not higher than anybody in that church at the end of the day. You're equal to everybody in that church. There's no man more worthy than the other when it comes to the kingdom of God. We're all the same. How are you better than another? God does not exalt one over another one. So why are these chairs sitting here where everybody's sitting up high and the guy in the middle is sitting up? No, I don't like that. I don't know what that's for, but I don't like it. Kind of puts you on a pedestal. It lifts you up. And the last thing you want to do is be on the pedestal and be lifted up, because that's when Mr. Satan comes popping in. Well, I'm going to call him Mr. Satan, but that's when Satan comes popping in and starts filling your head with a lot of, arrogance, which you don't want. And it's like, well, they're there for you. Don't need them. What you in there for? What's the purpose of having them there for? At all, period. You don't need them. They're going to make you preach to the Lord a little better because you have to be on a throne? No. Better prayer abilities? Nope. Status, that's what it is. I went to this church and this man was a real humble preacher. He had none of that in the background. He preached right out of his house. Real nice guy and all. Real humble. That's why I like the church. You got some people in the church, members, that will look down on you if you don't have a brand new outfit every Sunday. They will look down on you. You're trying to be saved and you come in with tattoos, they'll look down on you. Got piercings, they'll look down on you. The Bible says, come as you are. You wear the same suit every single day. It doesn't make a difference. You're coming there to serve God. You're not coming there to serve them. But if they're bothered by you're not having this, looking all dressed up and fancy for church, then it ain't the church I want to be at. People get dressed up for church and just wear their best clothes. A nice suit, nice tie, but some people got to go all out. New hat and blah, blah, blah. Look all. No. It's not a fashion show at the end of the day. You're going to serve God. That's what I like about this church. People came to this church. They weren't wearing expensive suits and they weren't wearing this and that and the other. They came as there. Some people came in right after work. They had the work gear on and everything. Came in and sat down and prayed. And they didn't look at these people. Oh, you can't come in here because you're not. No. Didn't make a difference. Some people came in right after work. I seen construction workers, people that are just coming out from church. They're Christians and all. Didn't have time to change. They want to come in for the church. Ain't a fashion show for them. They come there to pray about the Lord. Come there to learn and get understanding. Doesn't care about whether or not if I'm dressed in a suit or not. God doesn't seem. God, oh no, you can't come in here. You gotta be dressed up and no, you can't. God don't care. Come as you are. Come on in here. You're welcome. It's the people that do that. The people that look down on you. God doesn't look down on you. It's the people that judge you. Not saying all of them. But I'm saying when some of these churches, it's the people that come and judge you. Are you walking there? You got a motorcycle outfit on, whatever, got tattoos and all at the end of the day, and you change your life over to Christ and you walk in and you sit down and pray, God looks at you and go, oh, he's just one of his children. It's the people in the church that look at you and judge you and say, oh, look at this person coming in, blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that. Now, I'm not saying all the people in churches, but I've seen churches do this. And I'm looking at people like, wait a minute, that's wrong. Because when God looks at him, he doesn't see this man covered in tattoos and all. He sees a little child. He sees his baby. That's what he sees, his child. But you guys see him as something else. So what gives you the right to judge that man? You're wrong. Now when God looks at you, he doesn't see his children. He sees something else. He sees something else that's not his. Because you're not supposed to look at it. You're supposed to welcome that man into the church. He's already nervous enough as it is, walking and looking like that. He's looking at everybody else. Why'd you make him feel even worse than he's already feeling when he's coming in? Welcome him. All right, we got this one done. Boom, 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 boom. So this right here is the 100 ounces of our Extreme Black Widow. And for the customers who place orders, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I really do. I do appreciate. I appreciate. Man, fragile. I've gone too far. I was like, good gracious, fragile labels all over. It's why there's never enough fragile labels. One time I sent a package with nothing but fragile labels on it for fun. Like nothing but fragile labels on it. It's fragile. All right, so that's good. We got our. The cool thing about it is I printed up the pickup for because I couldn't do it on Monday, so I printed it out for Tuesday. How God is amazing. Tell me this. So the orders yesterday were supposed to go out today, but my cat, who doesn't really trust anybody, runs from anybody who comes to the door, likes the post office guy. So when I see somebody come up on the porch and he doesn't move, I know it's him. So sure enough, it was him. Cool dude. Packages weren't even set for schedule. Came and picked everything up and took it out, which is beautiful. So now we have a schedule for today, which was supposed to be, set for the other packages. So we can get these guys taken care of too also. I'm going to be setting him up with the ultimate projection screen setup. Yeah, projector speakers, the whole 9 yards. This guy's been a real nice guy. He's a cool dude. I'm going to set him up the whole package. Put a movie theater in there for him. Appreciate the help. It comes in nice to have, All right, now we're going to be getting ready for those of you who ordered pre-coated screens. We've got a lot of spraying to do. We're blasting your screens. Keep in mind on the side of your screen, you're going to have your batch number written in. This is going to be your video and your video only. It's like a lot of talking and all that. So we're just going to get it done, do the video, so you guys can just go through it and be done. All right? So anytime you order a pre-coated screen from us, you'll have a little number in the side. That is your batch number. You go in there and you go check out and see how your screen turned out.
or we can send that link to you, whatever. You can find the video and you can see how your product turned out before we ship it to you. That's why I sat there and I said that we test all the screens before we ship them out. The customer who sent the screen back here was working perfectly fine. We ran it downstairs, no problem whatsoever. Has the batch number that matches the video. But again, some people are coming off. If you're coming off a white screen, we advise you don't go near the black technology, go near the black silvers. Black silvers produce much higher white levels. So we're going to be doing a couple of black silvers and a few absolutes. I upstairs have an absolute black upstairs in my dedicated theater room. But you got to go order my chairs. We only have a little bit more to go with that area up there. Just a little bit more to go. I got to finish my rest of the, I got to put the crown molding in with the lights. I got to order the chairs, build the acoustic string for the 235 into the corner, hide the two other projectors. We're going to put a design to hide both of those. Get the red velvet curtains for the rest of the windows. And hide all the rest of the wires and stuff, which we have to hide that stuff, paint all that stuff black. And it's done. I want to have it done for Christmas. Or way before Christmas. Would be nice. Way before Christmas. Alright, let me see. Let's get some of these 2.0s done. And those of you who have bought the 2.0s, thank you so much. We appreciate your support. Hope you enjoy the product. Let's get these done. Where's my scissors at? Over here. I got to order me some more tape. Couple of these done. That done. Let's see. So, lady who I was talking to, she got the storefront, and right now they're in there working in the storefront. I sent them over some stuff for outer boxes because they're going to do some. I'm going to have a 150-inch of a screen out in the back. It's going to do a cartoon display. Cool. Ice cream and cartoons. Amazing idea. So they're going to do a 150-inch screen in the back, and they're going to use invisible technology on the glass to advertise their menus, which they're going to be using the NEC projector we use over here. They're paying $200 for their projectors. I got them a good merchant for that. And for the projector outside, they use a 4,000 lumen crispy projector, which is more than enough power. They already paid about $160 for that. See how much money we saved people at the end of the day? That we weren't around, they probably would have gone out and spent got this white screen outside, which would have washed out and faded out, and told they needed a much high-end projector, which would probably cost them $4 or $5 grand easily. So that's a lot of money for a company to save to have a high-performance screen. So they're going to be showing up the cartoon screen, which I cannot wait. So they're going to be doing that. They're going to be showing off pictures of that and pictures of our advertising. Of course, they're going to advertise their company, so all our information is going to be there in advertising. And the beautiful thing about it is the person who is renting out the place for them has a whole lot of properties. Like they own all these properties. And they were asking a few questions about these screens that we're going to be putting on these black screens. So they're interested in that. So, push comes to shove, I may be getting more business from them. And then on top of that, with the other people that are doing business in that area too, when they see the glass come up with the advertising pushing through the glass, oh yes, that's why they were asking for another contract. Now they got an agreement contract to show off our products, but they also want another contract in order to have a distributorship with us because they know that the stores in the area are going to want the same thing they have, and they want to be able to make a little money off of that. So, hey, it all works out. All right, people. I got to start making some phone calls. So gonna have to bid you farewell. I know that some of you don't like to hear me talk about Jesus, but those are the ones I try to reach the most, because those are the ones that need Jesus the most. So the ones that don't want to hear him talk about him are the ones that need Jesus the most. Because keep in mind, when people say, well, the devil doesn't mess with me much, that's probably because he already has you. That's why. So, you guys are needing it the most. Everybody needs Jesus at the end of the day. The best, for me, it's the best way and the only way to live. So if it bothers you that I talk about Christ, then that's the first sign that you need Christ. Because guess who else it bothers when I talk about Christ? Satan himself. He don't like to hear it. You got a demon walking around in your house and you start pleading the blood of Christ. He don't want to stick around for that. He's gone. He's out of there. You definitely don't want to be a part of that. You don't want to be a part of that one at all, period. So if the devil don't like it and you don't like it, you don't want to be in the same boat with him. So I try not to scare people and all, but let me tell you something. As long as I've been a Christian, and God will only allow you to see these things unless you can handle them. My sister, she has strong faith, she does, but she can't handle seeing some of the things that me and my sister have seen. We've seen demons before. Some people can't handle it. God will only allow you to be able to take what you can handle. And I've seen some stuff. I've seen some stuff to realize that there are other things in this world walking among the earth, among just us, besides angels. There are other things too. And I'm glad, because I've seen these things, that I'm protected by the Lord. Because there are some things here, boy, you wish you would. I've seen some stuff. I'll tell you a real short one real quick. So, when I was living up in Park Avenue, I used to live up on the area of Park Avenue, right behind Broad and Susquehanna. There was a neighbor across from me that didn't like me too much. And I never forget, in my backyard, I didn't have a front gate at all. I didn't have anything. You just walk to the backyard. But I had these big pit bulls. No one would actually go near the house anyway. But anyway, I remember I was in the back of the house in the master bedroom. The master bedroom came up to a porch, and that was the yard. I heard this weird chanting in my yard, like really weird chanting in my yard. I didn't know what it was. It sounded kind of strange. So I went out, took the flashlight, leaned over the top side of the balcony, didn't see anything. There was nothing there at all, period. So later on that night, all my dogs are going off like crazy. This is the second time I've had this happen. Dogs go off like crazy. And it usually is not their normal bark, because my dogs had a normal bark. You know, somebody came near the house, that's how they would react. But this time, the bark was like really frantic, like somebody was literally breaking into the house, kind of how they were carrying on. But you know, wasn't hearing anything, wasn't seeing anything on the security cameras. And so I took Tigger. Tigger was a pit bull I had. It was German Rottweiler mix and American Bulldog. He was something else. He was one of my best trained dogs. So I put my leash on him, because I knew if push came to shove, if something instant popped up, Tigger would handle it. So I take the dog, I go walking around the corner, and I see this really tall, I mean, he must have been 6'2", 6'4". We had a lot of drug addicts in the back of the house. Sometimes we'd go back there and smoke. And he was like a really tall guy. He was really tall. So I've never seen him anywhere in the neighborhood, because usually, you know, you're in a neighborhood, you mostly would see your everyday drug addicts every day. You would know who they are. But this guy, I've never seen him before. So he turned around, and I noticed as he turned around, he was under this street light. He had these kind of like light pearl eyes. They're the most whitest eyes. Not white, but they're kind of a shiny pearl. I had never seen anything like him. And his teeth, his smile went from one end to the next like a joker. And they were the brightest teeth I've ever seen. They were just stone white. All I can see is that stone white smile and those bright pearl eyes. That's all I could see. He was very dark skinned. But the weird thing about it was that the drug users that were out there were circling him. They were walking around him in a circle, kind of like in this kind of zombie state. They were just walking around him, and he was just staring directly at me with this smile in his eyes. Now, Tigger would charge anybody. And I, for some reason, didn't feel the need. I don't take my dog off the leash because my dog would hurt somebody. But I use him to intimidate to get people to back or move away from my property. But Tigger wouldn't come up. Tigger was backing up. I've never seen that dog ever back up on anybody. He was backing up. He was trying to get away. And that's when I realized that I wasn't looking at a human being. That was staring into the eyes of a demon. So that's when I basically got the dog, started praying, and went to the house as fast as I can, shut the door, and we prayed as we were in the house. And after that, it went away. And I never saw it again. I never, ever saw that person ever again. Which that was one of the things that I saw that was actually quite crazy. Now, the other one was, this is way back. This is when American Online was big. They had the web TV, and I was on the web TV having some fun, getting in trouble, which I shouldn't have been doing, starting fights, which I shouldn't have been doing, opening up doorways for things to come see me, which I shouldn't have been doing. And I never forget, I was talking to this one guy, or whatever he was, I don't know what he was in the day, but we were talking, and we got into a little bit of a discussion, like a little bit of an argument back and forth. And he said, you're lucky that it's not the time of the hour, because I would morph and come see you. And I'm laughing like, morph? What the frick you think you are, a Power Ranger? So we're in there cracking up. I'm busting on this guy. He's not saying much at all, period. So I figure I got the better hand of it. The better hand of the whole entire argument. So later on, next day, after I get in, it's around 6 o'clock. And again, dogs are carrying on at the bottom. Tigger's at the bottom floor, so he's the one going off the most. And when I went to the window, I was about to lift it, but I couldn't get the window open. The window wouldn't lift open. And the Lord told me, don't open the window. So as I look out the window, I see this shadow-like figure moving back and forth around the bottom half of the house, as if it was looking, trying to get into the house, but it couldn't get in. Because my house, I prayed over my whole entire house. I walked in and took a little blessed oil, and I marked the cross in every room, and I had the house protected by the Lord. But whatever was out there was trying to get into the house and couldn't get in. So again, I got on my knees and I prayed, put it in the Lord's hands, and it left. That's why you got to be careful in this world. Well, it's a very, very old place. All right, got our labels and everything cut out. Got a chance to talk about the Lord. We got some more labels. I'm going to cut these out too. Got a chance to talk about the Lord, which is always really important. Some people don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear nothing about God. I don't know why you wouldn't. Thinking I was like that myself. I didn't want to hear anything about God. All I wanted to do is just live my life. You know? And then I was living my life on my own, trying to do my own thing. It's got me lost everything. I didn't want to listen. Alright, so I'm getting the rest of these labels cut out because I want to get these done right here. Because I know when I get to the painting the room, I was gonna shower and put on new clothes today, but with my old work clothes, but I just keep them clean. But I can't because again, I'm gonna be painting today and I'm gonna be covered in paint. And now I guess I'll get showered up later on today. Don't want to do any real serious painting. All right, let me see. We got these done. All right, I got to make a couple phone calls so I can get some transactions done because, as I said before, I have to transfer money to my card and I have to go through this little hoopla with PayPal to get this done. So I can get orders. Well, we can get orders done because we do everything through our PayPal account, but I have to get items and things I need for work. And I hope you guys enjoy the updates. So let me do a recap real quick. We're going to be working on a paint-on mesh material for the customer screens, for outdoor inflatable screens. So we're working on that today. I have to get the surface in here to do that, do those tests. And that's for front and rear. You're going to have to spray both sides of the screen, by the way. That's something you're definitely going to have to do. We got those orders taken care of. So they're done. And we have this one to finish. And this is a 44, which we have to finish also. We have to contact a few people on the 44s. And I want to get back to working on my exotic paints. Now the exotics, I decided that we're going to make them an easy spray on application. Because the majority of most people are going to be going into the exotics are going to be the art community. So they're the ones that are more interested in the exotics. All right, so I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta get this stuff done. Get my labels cut out for the day and make some phone calls. Hope you enjoyed the demonstration. Hope you got something out of it. Gotta go. Thank you all and God bless.